All right, everybody, welcome back. You ready for a deep dive?
Let's do it.
So we've got some pretty heady stuff to get into today.
Yeah.
We're talking about God, reality, existence.
Big questions.
Yeah, no small potatoes here. And the really interesting thing is the way this is all put together in the source material.
Right.
It's like a philosophical poem, you know?
Yeah, definitely a unique approach.
It is. It is.
It's kind of refreshing.
It is, yeah, to see this kind of weaving of different ideas and almost like a feeling, you know, that comes through in the language.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a good starting point from what I was reading is this idea that God maybe isn't this like separate entity,
Okay.
but is actually woven into the fabric of reality.
Interesting.
What are your initial thoughts on that?
I mean, it's a pretty profound shift, right? Because
Yeah.
we're so used to this idea of God as the watchmaker,
Right.
creates the universe and then kind of steps back.
Right.
But this is suggesting something much more, I don't know, intimate, I guess.
Right. Enmeshed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like inseparable.
Inseparable, yeah. And it makes you wonder if that changes how we even approach this idea of like searching for proof.
Right.
Because if God is not separate from reality, if God is reality in some way, then it's not about finding this external evidence.
Right.
It's about understanding our own experience more deeply.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that kind of leads into the next point, because the source material talks about how, well, if God is part of this reality, maybe we can get glimpses of this divine force by looking at like progress.
Yeah, evolution.
Evolution, yeah.
That's a really interesting concept, right?
It is.
Because it's like creation never stopped.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing process. It's happening all around us.
Right.
And there's this idea that progress itself, this kind of drive towards greater complexity, greater awareness, that might be a manifestation of this divine force.
Yeah, and there's this quote in here from a philosopher. It says, all God should mean is the next, higher, empirically quality of mind which the universe is engaged in bringing into birth.
Whoa.
Right.
That's a mouthful.
It's a lot to unpack there, but I think the gist of it, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that it's like the universe is constantly leveling up.
In a way, yeah. It's like this constant striving towards something more complex, more aware, more, I don't know, godlike, for lack of a better term.
Right. And we're a part of that.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the source material goes on to connect this idea of like God as progress to something that's, I think, very human, which is this kind of deep desire to create,
All right.
to prove that we exist.
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why do we create? Why do we feel this need to leave our mark on the world?
Exactly. And it made me think of like existentialism,
Right.
like, you know, this idea that we're trying to find meaning in this seemingly meaningless universe.
Yeah, and this text kind of takes it a step further.
Okay.
It's suggesting that maybe that drive to create, that's the divine spark within us. You know, like we're trying to prove we're worthy,
Yeah.
that we are expressions of that force.
It's a beautiful way to look at it.
It is. It's a beautiful way to look at it.
And then it ends, the whole thing ends on this very simple
Okay,
but very powerful line.
I'm intrigued.
It just says, I am that I am.
Oh, wow, yeah.
What do you make of that?
It's so simple, yet so profound, you know? It's like in the face of all this vastness, all this mystery, it's a declaration. It's saying, I exist.
Yeah,
I am here.
I love that.
I matter.
Yeah, and I think what's so amazing about all of this is it takes all these big, huge concepts
Yeah,
and somehow makes them feel very personal.
absolutely.
Like, it's not just about this distant God. It's about our own journey.
It's about our own evolution.
Our own evolution, exactly. And realizing that we're part of something much, much bigger than ourselves.
It's a beautiful thought.
It really is. It really is. And so it begs the question, if progress, if this constant evolution is a manifestation of the divine,
How should we live our lives?
that is the question, isn't it?
It is. It's something I think we all need to grapple with, and hopefully, you know, our listeners will take that question with them today and really, really give it some thought.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
All right, everybody. Until next time, have those brain cells firing, and we will see you on the next deep dive.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.